The 18th day of the fourth regular session of the 20th Congress will now come to order. May we all rise for a moment of silent prayer. Roll call, Chief Clerk.
Senator Alec, Senator Aritos, Senator Vergeer, Senator Colen, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman, Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Ned, Senator Panuelo, Senator Perman, Senator Romulo, Senator Ursmal, Senator Welly, Speaker Semina.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, 10 members are present.
we have quorum to transact business today. Before we proceed to the next item, for the record, Chairman Rusimal is designated as the acting floor leader for today's proceedings. So next item is reading of the journal, acting floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. With the assignment, I now move to dispense with the reading of the journal.
It's moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of the journal today. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Reading of the journal is suspended. Next item.
Item 5, Mr. Speaker, Presidential Communications. We have one, and it's number 20-239.
Assign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 6, Everson Supreme Court Communications. None, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 7, Member Communications. We have number 20-31.
Assign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 8, Departmental Communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 9, Agency or Governmental Authority Communications. None.
Continue.
Item 10, State Communications. None. Item 11, State Supreme Court Communications. None. Item 12, Municipal or Town Communications. There are none, Mr. Speaker. Item 13, Foreign Government Communications. None also.
Okay, order of the day. Item 14.
Mr. Speaker, item 14, we have an awaiting list, number 20-30.
Short recess. Congress back in session. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item 15, Special Committee Reports. None, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 16, Assignment of Measures and Communications. We have a referral sheet, number 20-64. Item 17, Unfinished Business. None. Item 18, Bill Calendar.
First bill.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, we have bill CB number 20-131 for second reading. CB number 20-131. It's a bill for an act to further amend Section 208 of Title II of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia as annotated, as amended by Public Law number 18-53 for the purpose of clarifying and correcting contradictory language and for other purposes.
Short recess. Congress back in session. Chairman Wally, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to defer action on the said bill.
It's moved and seconded that the bill be deferred to the next session of Congress. Those in favor say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said bill is now deferred to the next session of Congress. Next bill.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker,
Okay. Yes, acting floor.
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that we go back up to item 14.
It's moved and seconded that we go back up to item 14. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. We're now back to item 14. That's the standing committee report. Chairman Ursula.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Standing Committee Report number 20-63 and 20-63.
It's moved and seconded that standing committee report number 20-63 be placed on the standing committee report calendar for action. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Let the record reflect that the relevant rules are still suspended up to this point, specifically that one requiring 24-hour waiting period. So, make your motion.
Kiriso, Mr. Speaker, I move that Congress adopts Standing Committee Report number 20-63, which is on the calendar. So move.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt standing committee report number 20-63. Discussion. Any discussion?
Speaker?
Question? Yes, Vice Speaker Moses, you have the floor.
No, I was just going to move for the previous question.
Okay, if there is no objection, debate is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of standing committee report number 20-63 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Report number 20-63 is adopted by Congress. Next report.
There are none, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. There is no objection. We will now go back to our regular order. Item 19,
Resolution calendar.
resolution calendar. Chairman Ursmal.
Can we go back to item 18?
Okay, short recess. Session, there's no objection. We will go back to item 18, bill calendar. Chairman Ursmal.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. With all respect to the chairman, but most especially the vice chairman of the committee on J&GO, I move to withdraw and place on today's bill calendar CB number 20-151. So move.
It's moved and seconded that CB number 20-151 be withdrawn from committee and placed on the bill calendar for action. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed? No. Motion carried. CB
Speaker, I
number
take it that-
20-151 is placed on the bill calendar for action. Let the record reflect that any relevant rule that might impede our actions are still suspended up to this point. Chairman Ursula.
I move that this bill be, action on this bill be deferred to the next session of Congress.
It's moved and seconded that said bill be deferred to the next session of Congress. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said bill is now deferred to the next session. Next bill.
I cannot find my bill. I want to withdraw a bill, but I cannot find it.
Short recess, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session. We're now, if there's no objection, we will now go back down to the regular order. Resolution calendar. Acting Floor, can you place that one? Two resolutions?
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman,
There is one on the order of, under resolution.
short recess. Acting Floor,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to withdraw and place Congress Resolution numbers CR number 20-104 and CR number 20-105. So move.
Second.
It's moved and seconded that resolutions number 20-104 and number 105 be placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor of the motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said resolutions are now placed on the resolution calendar for action.
Speaker.
And let the record reflect that the relevant rules are suspended.
Speaker.
Chairman Berman.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. Also like to make a motion to withdraw and place CR number 20-95, 20-100, 20-101, and 20-103. So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that the following resolutions be withdrawn and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Resolution number 20-95, number 20-100, number 20-101, and 20-103. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Those resolutions are now also placed on the resolution calendar for action. First resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have Congressional Resolution number 20-104 for adoption. CR number 20-104 is a resolution authorizing the President to submit the recommended National Government Compact budget request as revised pursuant to Congress recommendations to the United States under Article 5 of the Fiscal Procedures Agreement.
Chairman Roosevelt.
So move, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-104. Discussion. Short recess. Discussion. Any discussion on the resolution? If none, there is no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-104 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-104 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have Congressional Resolution number 20-105 for adoption. CR number 20-105 is a resolution expressing the sincere condolences and sadness to the family of the late Daniel Kahikin Akaka at his passing on April 6, 2018.
Chairman Roosevelt.
So move for the adoption of the said resolution, Mr. Speaker.
It's moved and seconded that that resolution be adopted by Congress. Discussion. Just for the record, the only reason why this resolution has just been brought up is because we just started session in May. This unfortunate thing happened back in early April, so I guess it's just part of our process. So that's why it's late in coming. Okay, any other discussion? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-105 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said resolution is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have Congressional Resolution number 20-95 for adoption. CR number 20-95 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $386,105 from the United States Department of Health and Human Services Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, to fund and support the tobacco and diabetes programs under the Tobacco and Diabetes Collaborative Partnership in the FSM, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Permit.
Thank you. So move for the adoption of the said bill 20-95.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-95. Discussion. Any
Question.
discussion?
Speaker,
Yes, Chairman Figuer.
again, I hope that in the future they can provide the information because it looks like we're just spending money because there is money there to be spent. I'm sure that I have not seen any reduction in the use of tobacco. I have not seen any reduction or decreases in the cases of diabetes and others. So I think someone in the government needs to be serious in using the funds or grants under this title and make sure that they are being put into use rather than just travel throughout the states and there's no real impact. And but I guess importing more tobacco into the FSM is better because people die out because of the use of the tobacco, but more tax. I understand that some of the states have increased the tobacco taxes, so that's good. In a way, less people to use the money that is coming out of the product. So,
Yes, thank you, Chairman Fakir.
Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
Our cigarettes still cost between $2 to $4, but in the US it's $10, so it's a big
Mr. Speaker.
thing. Yes, Chairman.
Yeah, thank you,
Fakir.
Mr. Speaker. If you recall, when the committee debate on the President stated that he's already asked the SPC to do an audit on the Department of Health on all these grants. So hopefully, whatever they find there will enlighten the members with all the concerns that we're always talking about. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Yes, Chairman.
yeah,
Fakir.
just it's nice to ask someone, but I think it's common sense, and we all see what's going on. We don't need a professional to come in and say the use of tobacco product is increasing, and the cost, the bad effect of a product is decreasing. It's not decreasing. And I think I'm not a person that can do that, but I can see what's happening. We don't need an expert. What we need is people who are on the ground to do a better job than just travel to Yap and spend one day or between flights in Yap, go back to Guam and spend a week, then come back to Pohnpei. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not spend somebody's money because 2023 comes, we don't know what's going to happen.
Well, Speaker, if we're going to do
Thank you.
common sense, Mr. Speaker, all we have to do is pass a bill to ban tobacco to this nation, and then that will fix it.
Okay, any further discussion on the resolution? If none, there's no objection. Discussion will be closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-95 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-95 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have functional resolution number for adoption, CR number 20-100. It's a resolution approving and accepting a $250,000 grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services to fund for the opioid state targeted response program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Permit.
So move for the adoption of the said bill 20-100.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-100. Discussion.
Question.
Questions been called for. If there's no objection, discussion is closed, so let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-100 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-100 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we have functional resolution number 20-101 for adoption. CR number 20-101 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $147,000 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Service Administration, or HRSA, to fund for the maternal and child health services program in the FSM, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Permit.
So move for the adoption of the said bill 20-101.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-101. Discussion.
Question.
Questions been called for. There's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-101 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Said resolution is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
Mr. Speaker, we have motion of resolution number 20-103 for adoption. CR number 20-103 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $125,000 from the United Nations Population Fund, or UNFPA, to fund the implementation of the FSM's programs under the UNFPA Strategic Plan 2018 to 2021, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Permit.
So move for the adoption of the said bill 20-103.
It's moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 20-103. Discussion.
Question.
Questions being called for. There's no objection. Discussion is closed. So let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 20-103 say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried. Resolution number 20-103 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Okay, for the record, the staff is instructed to make all the technical corrections to all those resolutions that were withdrawn and placed or placed on the for action today. Okay?
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on a point of privilege to recognize the following people observing our session this morning: Philip Alpert, Lee Tim, Finley Mizard, and Sablan Peset. Can we give him a round of applause?
Thank you, Chairman Berman. The Congress joins you in welcoming our good citizens who to take time out to observe our session this morning. Any other point of privilege? Any? If none,
Mr. Speaker,
yes, Vice Speaker Moses.
thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on the point of privilege to congratulate you and the chairmen who have completed their reports on the budget and the staff that has made that possible. And I know that this session was supposed to realize a return on an investment that we made. Unfortunately, we learned on Friday that that was not going to happen this session. And for that, I thank the Chairman on E, Chairman on Health, Ways and Means, Vice Chairman on JNGO, Foreign Affairs, and all the staff, and Chairman on TNC, all the chairmen. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing me to take my first seating of a opening session, and that was a very great privilege for me. Unfortunately, it happened under unfortunate circumstances. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I move that Congress stand adjourned, sine die. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Second.
Short recess. Back in session. Before we entertain the motion, I just want to allow our acting floor leader, if there's any procedural matters to take care of.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I move that the presiding officers, with the help of the staff, review and make any technical corrections on the journal from day one of this session, which convened on the 11th, all the way to today, May 28th. So move.
It's moved and seconded that the presiding officers, including the staff, including acting floor leaders or whatever they may be called, are authorized to do all the reviewing and corrections of our journals and other records. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Opposed, no. Motion carried, so be it. There is a motion which has been seconded that this regular session of Congress be adjourned as sine die. Those in favor of that motion say yes. Those opposed say no. Motion carried. Before we adjourn, may we all just rise for short. I hereby declare the fourth regular session of the 20th Congress adjourned sine die.